Hello, my name's Larry Reidy, and I'm kind of new to YouTube. Excuse me, I'm outside and there's some gnats flying around here. Anyway, I have a podcast, Larry Reidy's America. I've been doing this since September of 2022. I have a little over 400 episodes out there in 42 states, or 44 states and 42 countries the last time I checked. And I've had some great guests. But before I get into it, a little about myself. I'm an old guy. I'm 86 years old. When COVID came along, I decided to write a book, My Quest for Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness, 1939 to 2019. And then I wrote a book about a year and a half later, Batesville Shooter and Friends, and that's obviously a gun book. But anyway, I started podcasting kind of by accident. I went to the local liquor store. I'm in Batesville, Indiana. I went to a local liquor store. These gnats are killing me. For a whiskey tasting. I walked in. Mike Gardner and his wife Terry owned the place, and Mike said, "Well, I'm glad you're here." I said, "Well, yeah, I wanted to taste some Yellowstone." And he said, "We got a podcast going on." I said, "Oh, that's nice." He said, "You're the guest." So he said, I forgot to call you. So anyway, to make a long story short, I was on their podcast, had a lot of fun. They invited me back. I did another one. And then I said, well, I think I can do this. I don't know if anybody's going to listen to it, but I'm going to do it. So fast forward to, it'll be 3 years in September, and it's been pretty exciting. My guest, by no means, I'm no Joe Rogan or anybody. I don't edit. I don't prepare. I just wing it. And I have great guests, not the superstar celebrities. I have just really good, down-to-earth people that you would love to have as neighbors, but whether they're mayors, police chiefs, fire chiefs, doctors, lawyers, head of industries, I've had pretty much all of them. And one's good as another. In fact, I picked out a few. If you want to listen to them, they're all audio right now. I'm going to start doing video, which I'll get to in a minute. To listen to any of my podcasts, the easiest way is to go to larryreidy.net, and then you'll see my books, but then you'll see listen. You hit listen, then they'll take you to all my episodes. They're up forever. But also in the search bar, if you just want a sample, search bar, you can put in episode V8. That is Seth Shields, retired Air Force. Very interesting guy. His last assignment, he was in a group that planned the Bin Laden raid. Okay. Episode 95, a friend of mine, Ben Maynard, is a podcaster in Chino, California, and he invited me to be on his podcast for Veterans Day in 2024. So if you want to know a little bit about me, that's a good one. Number 30 is Lance and Rhonda Green. This is a success story that you won't believe, how this small company with, I believe, 3 full-time employees, and Lance and Rhonda, when they were teenagers, I knew them then, were going to school and sweeping floors and such. To be this magnificent company it is today, it's a good listen. And they're all good listen. Again, it's not me. I mean, who the hell wants to listen to an old man? But anyhow, the what I'm doing, I've always been a history buff, and I've always said it. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. So I am doing a weekly president podcast. It'll be 15 to 20 minutes long, and starting with George Washington all the way through Biden. We've had some presidents that have done some really good things, and we had some presidents that should have been dog catchers. But it's interesting. I've done some research on. I think you might enjoy this. And starting on the 10th of July, that'll be Thursday. In fact, I might even post it on Wednesday night, but either Wednesday evening or Thursday morning will be George Washington. And it'll be a brief biography. George was a good man, father of our country. And there's, the only thing, and a lot of people have said, yeah, but all our founders, they owned slaves. I know, bad culture, idiots thinking like that, but they all did it, and that should not be any distraction to his legacy or the founding fathers. They just were ignorant, and it was despicable to think anybody could own a person. But anyway, that'll start, and see how it goes. I've always done my podcast on the audio version. We've got veteran podcasts. I had 90-some podcasts with 3 co-hosts doing whiskey and beer tasting. We've had business owners. I've done some sports figures on there. It's, you can thumb through it. You may like it, you may not. But again, it's not about me, it's about the guests. And I really think that everybody should listen to the presidents. I originally thought, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 46 presidents, then I'm going to do a compilation of these podcasts and write a book. The 2 books that I've written, hardest thing I've ever done in my life, I've reconsidered that. No book. So in the meantime, I really do hope you enjoy this. And I'm putting some serious work into this, but I think it's worth it. I don't advertise, I don't prepare, I don't take any money. This is not a for-profit podcast. In fact, it's a negative profit, the money that I put in equipment to do this stuff. But I always wanted to do things for the community. And I think about 60% of my podcasts are in Indiana, which is understandable. And I believe, I think California has a big listening audience, but again, big state. Texas, Georgia, Kentucky, Illinois, a lot of listening audience. I think people, it's nice to listen to Joe Rogan, talk to Donald Trump, or Mel Gibson was very good. And he's had some great guests on. That's not my thing. In fact, nobody's going to appear on my show. It's not a big deal. Unless you spend money advertising. I'm on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbean's my home site, Pandora. I'm on all the popular podcast sites, and you can listen to me on any of them. But the thing is, I want to deal with everyday people everybody's got a story. And these people have done really good things. I had some veterans on here that unbelievable. In fact, one was 99-year-old veteran from World War II. One almost died in Vietnam, and he still has 36 pieces of shrapnel in him. So these are just the salt of the earth type people, and every small town has them, and every big city has them. But the thing is, it's to get them on a podcast and listen to their story. I've tried my best to do this. I hope I'm going to start with YouTube on these presidents, and it may evolve, and I might start doing YouTube on just my weekly podcast when I have a guest on. So anyway, I've taken up 10 minutes of your time. Again, next Thursday, the 10th, podcast on the presidents. Listen, and you'll be amazed at what some of them did good and what some of them did really bad. And if you want a hint on one that I changed my total opinion about, look up Trail of Tears and the Associated Press. And when you read that, you'll wonder how anybody could have ever done anything that bad. So anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you listen and watch next week. You're not watching anything except me sitting outside. So I'll talk to you then. Thanks again. I appreciate it.